Low to mid-30s tonight. Occasional showers in the forecast through tonight. And it looks like partial clearing by Saturday morning. A cool weather day in the low 50s. Light breezes, mostly sunny Saturday. Frosty Saturday night, down into the low 30s, mostly clear. Sunday, mostly sunny near 55. Jonesboro's community radio station, we're KLEK 102.5 FM.
From Feature Story News, I'm Natalie Powell with your latest world news. The Australian Deputy Prime Minister Barnaby Joyce has been disqualified from office following a High Court decision over dual citizenship. The Spanish Senate is meeting to discuss stripping Catalonia of regional powers after the regional body staged an illegal independence referendum earlier this month. And at least 3 UN peacekeepers in Mali have been killed after their vehicles struck an explosive device.
It's 9:01.
Community Conversations is brought to you by Arkansas Early Learning, offering no-cost childcare in Jonesboro and Northeast Arkansas. Applications at arearlylearning.org.
Arkansas Early Learning is a nonprofit organization.
KLEK LP Jonesboro, the voice of Arkansas Minority Advocacy Council. It's now time for Community Conversations, a program focusing on the people working to make the Jonesboro community a better place, while offering viewpoints from all sides of the issues. The views expressed in this program are those of the participants and do not necessarily reflect the views of KLEK 102.5 FM, the voice of Arkansas Minority Advocacy Council, or our underwriters or sponsors.
All right, good morning, everyone, and happy Friday to you. You're tuned in to Community Conversations on KLEK 102.5 FM. I am so excited about today. I have a room full of Arkansas State University students and staff. Good morning to everybody.
Good morning.
Good morning.
And today we're going to be talking all about Greek life at Arkansas State University. Of course, we don't have a full representation because there's so many organizations, but we hope that you get some good information out of who is all here today represented. And also we're going to be talking about an upcoming Halloween event that the Greek Life is hosting. So we're going to go around the table. I have Mr. Grant Wise, I have Miss Alexis Hurdle, I have Mr. CJ Turner, Miss Samantha Goodwin, and Miss Caitlin Bates. So thank you all.
Thank you for
having us. And so we're going to let each one of you please give some introduction about yourself and, whether you're student, staff, and what you do. Go ahead, Mr. Grant.
All right. My name is Grant Wise. I'm a senior political science student at Arkansas State. I'm the vice president of member development for the Interfraternal Council, and I'm also the Grand Master of Ceremonies for Kappa Sigma.
All right. Thank you.
And hi, my name is Alexis Hurdle. I'm the assistant dean for Greek Life and just have the privilege to work with all 20 of our fraternities and sororities here at Arkansas State.
That is a lot.
Yes, it is.
All right, Mr. CJ.
I am CJ Turner. I'm the vice president of the Lambda Eta chapter, Phi Beta Sigma Fraternity Incorporated here at Arkansas State. I am a senior sport management major, marketing minor.
All right. Go ahead.
Hi, I'm Samantha Goodwin. I'm actually studying college student personnel services on the graduate level, and I'm a graduate assistant for the Leadership Center.
All right, thank you.
Hi, my name is Caitlin Bates. I am currently assistant recruitment for the National Panhellenic Council, so I'll be transitioning to VP of recruitment. So all things recruitment next year, that will be my job. And I'm also a member of Alpha Gamma Delta sorority.
Alpha Gamma Delta, okay. I've been off campus for so long, I am totally out of the loop on that. Who is all on campus? So let's talk about what does it take to become a member of any fraternity or sorority?
Well, so I think I'm looking to see who might want to talk. So I think the qualities that all of our fraternities and sororities look for is someone who is coming in who wants to live by strong values. And each of our organizations, values is kind of the buzzword in fraternity and sorority life. But what that means is each of our organizations, they all stand and have a foundation of really strong values. And so those organizations are looking for members who want to come in, who have the same, who share the same values or the same passion for those values. And they also, someone who's coming in who wants to put academics as a priority, who wants to give back to the community, someone who wants to be a part of something bigger than themselves, and also just support each other. And so that's a big part of fraternity and sorority life, is we say brotherhood, sisterhood, but it's just supporting each other.
Okay. For sure. So when it comes to recruiting, how do you go about... Okay, look at me. I don't say it like that. But how do you go about getting someone's attention and maybe kind of steering them one way or another?
Yeah, well, we definitely try to spread the word about Greek life as much as we can, for sure. We have a Facebook page, and each council has an Instagram page and just different social media outlets. So we're constantly trying to post stuff, get the community involved. And then we have senior preview days that Arkansas State hosts, and we usually have a booth there for students to come learn about Greek life. But our biggest thing on the NPC side, we host a preview day every year, and so we do that in the summer. So don't have a date just yet for next summer, but it goes. We usually have a good amount of girls come and just learn. They get to learn all about how the recruitment process works. They get informed of how the week's gonna look, and just what Greek life means.
Okay. Now you mentioned NPC, and what is the other?
All right, so there's 2 other councils on Arkansas State's campus. You have IFC, or Interfraternal Council, and then you have NPHC, the National Panhellenic Council. That is the council that Phi Beta Sigma falls under, the NPHC. And to become a member of any organization in the NPHC, the Office of Greek Life has this little forum type event that prospective members have to go to. It's called NPHC 101. 101, yeah. And basically what that is they just kind of give out information about all of the organizations that are on our campus. So we have Alpha Phi Alpha Fraternity Incorporated, Phi Beta Sigma Fraternity Incorporated, Omega Psi Phi Fraternity Incorporated, Kappa Alpha Psi Fraternity Incorporated, Zeta Phi Beta Sorority Incorporated, and Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated. So we have 6 historically black fraternities and sororities on our campus, 6 out of 9 altogether. And what prospective new members should do is, after they've gone to the NPHC 101, is reach out to those members of those organizations that they have interest in. A lot of people kind of like, man, well, I don't want to approach these Greeks because, like, they're kind of like scary or whatever. But I want to debunk that myth that we're not scary. We're humans. We're students on this campus. We're open. We're available. So just come up and talk to us. Start a casual conversation with us. What I would say is kind of, don't start on the deep end and say, hey, I want to join this organization. Because it's just not the best way to start that conversation. Just kind of come up, be like, hey, how you doing? What's up? Did the Cowboys win last night? or just kind of start a regular conversation, and then transition into, okay, well, how do I become a member of said organization? And that's when that member should give you, all the information that I just did. Just start a conversation with us, become our friends,
and work your way up.
Work your way into it.
Okay.
For sure.
All right. Now, under the NPC, how many sororities and fraternities are there?
There's currently 5 sororities. Okay. Yeah, so we have Zeta Tau Alpha, we have Alpha Gamma Delta, Alpha Omicron Pi, Chi Omega, and Delta Zeta. So
so are those the girls?
Yes, ma'am.
And then with the fraternity fall under IFC?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, I'm learning a little bit today. Okay, and so how many fraternities?
I believe we do have 9 currently. There's Kappa Sigma, Lambda Chi Alpha, Pi Kappa Alpha, Teague, what else we got? Alpha Gamma Rho, Sigma Pi. The list goes on.
Okay, I'll give y'all all A+ for rolling those names. There's no way. I'm sure over time we learn, but oh my gosh. Okay, so let's talk about, some people want to join a sorority or fraternity because of a color or a party lifestyle, or they see this outside image of what they think you are. So let's talk about what you would tell someone, how you would advise them.
I would say that's kind of a bonus to what you're going, to what you're joining. Another thing I would highly recommend to any potential new member is do your research before you join any organization. Because at any organization's core is brotherhood or sisterhood, scholarship, service, and then any additional principle that they might have. I wouldn't say just join that organization based off of its color or, hey, they just had the best party, all semester or whatever. Because if you're joining the organization for that reason, in my opinion, you're joining it for the wrong reason.
Okay.
Now, each to his own, so, you do what you want, but at the end of the day, you're joining something, like Alexis said earlier, you're joining something that's bigger than you are.
Okay.
And so you want to be able to fit in with what they're doing, per se, but at the end of the day, it's for the value of that organization, not just, hey, they just had a big party, or my favorite color is blue or red or whatever, because at the end of the day, it's bigger than that.
Okay.
But,
At ASU, it's really neat. We do something called values-based recruitment, and so what that means is we have an NPC, we have recruitment counselors called Gamma Chi's, and so they have groups of potential new members throughout our recruitment week, and so we stress values, and they have value sheets, and they list their values from top to bottom, whether it's faith, trust, whatever it is, and so we highly encourage them, every party they go to, every event they attend, to look at their values and see which organization most aligns with that the most. So.
Okay.
Yeah, I think there's a perception, I guess, outside of the community that Greek life fraternity sororities is all about partying, and having a good time. And I mean, we do like to have fun, but at the same time, there's so much more to it than that. There's so much you can learn. I feel like just through my brothers and the relationships I have with them, I've learned so much about myself and how to be a leader. There's a lot there for you. You just gotta find it.
And I see on the A-State's website, and if anyone would like more information, go to astate.edu, and in the search box, just type Greek life. And so there's a link that says parent FAQs. It's not at my house. So I'm guessing over time, a lot of parents may have had comments, concerns, questions, and so usually when you see a warning or a link or a statement, it's because of something in the past. So do you have parents reach out to you, Miss Alexis?
Sure. I think that any large organization will always face scrutiny, and one of the things that I think that we do, the reason that we do highlight that is because Greek life, unfortunately, is portrayed typically pretty negatively in movies and TV. If the media covers something, it usually is somewhere someone made a poor choice. And so that is something that we are fighting. We are a large organization. We're actually, thousands of people are members of fraternities and sororities across the nation. And so one thing that I do want to emphasize, though, and that's one reason we do have that on our website, is that fraternities and sororities offer accountability in several different areas, and some students come in not expecting that, but you will be held accountable for your actions after 5 or before 5, but but usually it's after 5. But you're also being held accountable for your grades and going to class, and there are conduct processes in each of our fraternities and sororities that serve to hold these members accountable to their academic and conduct actions and their personal choices. Okay. And so that's something that is not necessarily highlighted very much, that we do want to make sure that they're aware. You're expected to uphold these values and to uphold the name, for some over 100-year-old name of some of our organizations.
Okay. And without, giving away too much, because I know there's still this privacy issue with what goes on in some of the inner workings of each of your sororities or fraternities, but I would like for each of you to state, how do you handle bad behavior, or if someone's falling in their grades, or you just notice something that needs someone needs a little nudge in the right and back in the right direction. So I would like for each of you to share, how do you all handle things like that?
Right. Well, we have an executive council made up of members of the executive board, and anytime we have a problem, whether it's grades or bad behavior, they get brought in. They have to speak to us. We go over the issue. If it's a serious issue, we can bring it to the rest of the chapter and discuss possibly suspension or, God forbid, expulsion. But yeah, so we do have to hold each other accountable in that way.
Is there a history of expulsion at Arkansas State University? Has a student been expelled from an organization or even from school?
For Greek-related issues, not that I'm aware for school. Now, I will say it's not uncommon in any of our organizations for a member to maybe be released or their membership to be removed for repeated poor decisions after given warnings. All of our conduct processes and all of our organizations do have a really good warning process. And I think it's important to note too that it's not just you shamed the organization. It's more of a supportive, there are consequences for your actions, but what's going on deeper? And that's where that support comes in from a fraternity or sorority is usually if someone's making poor choices, there's something deeper going on that maybe we don't know about. And so that's where the fraternities and sororities support network comes in and really tries to help them, but also holding them accountable too.
Okay, thank you. Mr. CJ?
So for our council, as a whole, especially when it comes to like scholarship and all that, we just recently this semester instituted mandatory library hours. And so each organization has to fulfill X amount of hours per week, and then at the beginning of the new week, the person that's over keeping track of all that will send out a weekly report to say, okay, well, this organization either met and exceeded or did not meet their hour requirement. And for that, if they don't meet their hour requirement, there's some type of punishment that we'll go over in our council meetings. Now, at the organizational level, so for Phi Beta Sigma, what we do is basically, we'll do the library hours, and then if we see that a brother is still kind of lacking in performance, there's some type of corrective process, whether it be some type of brother builder to where, okay, well, maybe we need to go to extra tutoring, or, go talk to your professor. Basically, we just really try to help each other out before we go to the extent of, you need to be like, just take a time out, bro. Like, don't do anything. Don't come out. Just focus on your grades. But that's like the extent, because our numbers are so small, not being seen at particular events could kind of, hurt us, if that makes sense.
Okay. I want to read a Facebook comment in because we're going to get ready to come up on a break shortly, and so I don't want you all to run out of time saying what you have to say concerning how things are handled. And I apologize for these noise. Oh my gosh. Okay, come on. All right, so we have a comment from Miss Sarah Ponder. She says, "Good morning, all. As a student during my time at A-State, my views were, to be real, very anti-Greek. I said the common things about don't need to pay for friends, just an excuse to party, etc. I mean, I can't express to you how anti-Greek I was. And to be honest, this is a shame that I was so closed-minded. When I started working at A-State in student affairs 10 years ago, I thought I can work with anyone, but my views on those groups won't really change. I couldn't have been more wrong. When I read about millennials in the media, they are painted as self-absorbed, yet I watch Greek organizations daily, and those students express a true passion for helping others. It's not just lip service. Many of the students in Greek Life Service juggle their social life, education, and jobs, and they still make a point to volunteer, work long hours, and donate their time." That is wonderful. Thank you so much for that. So there's one person that, watching you all do what you do, it has changed her mindset about who you are as a whole.
That's great.
That's wonderful. And I think there's more, but my phone is unloaded. Okay. So we're going to get ready to come up on a break about another minute and a half. But if you all, Ms. Samantha or Kaylin, if you would like to tell your experience, because I want Ms. Samantha also to tell more about, you know, your role in leadership services. So we'll bring Ms. Caitlin in before we go to break. How have things been handled, or have you witnessed how things have been handled in your sorority?
So in PC, we actually have every organization in NPC, we have GPA requirements that have to be withheld to be in good standing with the chapter, which is a great thing because that's accountability for all of our members. And also new members and current members most likely have study hours, or proctor hours we like to call it, throughout the week. So that's just extra accountability. We have access to tutors and anything a sister may need, and most likely you're gonna have a sister that took the class before you. So if we ever need help, all you gotta do is pop it in the group meeting. Next thing you know, you'll have a tutor and I'm in there too. So it's great. We definitely try to hold each other accountable for sure.
I love it. I'm not gonna say hate group me, but
it's a love-hate.
Yes, it is.
For sure.
Especially when it's 10, 11 o'clock at night and you're sleepy. Other people are more awake, but you know, everybody functions at different times, differently at different times. Okay, so there was more to Miss Sarah's comment. I hope I can get it done in 30 seconds. If not, I have to. Okay, when she says, many students in Greek life juggle their social life, education, and jobs, and they still make a point to volunteer and work long hours to donate their time to raise money and support philanthropies and the greater community. They contribute so much to the Children of St. Jude, local food banks, and social justice issues. Impressed with the leadership and encouragement in the women's organizations, these women encourage their sorority sisters to push themselves and succeed. People try to paint Greek service hours as just something to check off, but working with these students, that couldn't be farther from the truth. These organizations teach them to work with others, organizational and business skills, and what it looks
You're
like
listening
to
to
get your
Community
hands dirty in the
Conversations on
community with volunteer
KLEK
work.
102.5 FM. We'll be right back.
What are your family's financial priorities? I'm Mark Merrill with today's Family Minute. Unfortunately, it's really easy to spend money. Best way to avoid wasting your hard-earned money is by forming financial priorities. So here are 3 specific financial priorities for you and your family. First, shelter is a priority. But keep in mind, it's not about having more garage doors than your neighbor. It's about choosing a home based on safety, local education, and affordability. Second, nourishment is a priority. While many families enjoy eating out for meals, they don't enjoy expensive bills. Instead, try budgeting your restaurant outings. Finally, clothing is a priority, but rather than allow your teen to buy whatever they want, teach them self-discipline and delayed gratification. Remember, your family first.
Want to stay in touch with Mark? You can. Join him on Facebook, facebook.com/Mark Merrill.
Family Minute is made possible by the Kappa Nu Omega chapter of Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated, a non-profit organization committed to service to all mankind. Kappa Nu Omega Alpha Kappa Alpha on Facebook and KNOMEGA1908.com.
KLEK thanks CJ Pepper and the staff of Life Strategies Counseling Incorporated for helping people through hard times in life, such as depression, family issues, stress, abuse, and more. They offer counseling and therapy for all ages, individuals, families, and groups. They are located at 1217 Stone Street. Phone number 1-866-972-1268 or online at lscihelp.com. Starks Auto Plaza, your pre-owned superstore, is a longtime supporter of KLEK. 2829 Red Wolf Boulevard, Starks offers clean, reliable vehicles of all makes and models. Starks also offers no-hassle pricing, friendly service, financing options with approved credit. At Starks, you're always family, and our motto is, we never say no. 870-203-9980. StarksAutoPlaza.com.
Check out the Dorinda Clark Cole radio show every Sunday at 4 o'clock p.m. Listen as Dorinda plays the very best in contemporary gospel music. and interviews all of your favorite gospel artists. The Dorinda Clark Cole Radio Show, every Sunday at 4 p.m. on KLEK 102.5 FM.
And now back to Community Conversations on KLEK 102.5 FM.
All right, welcome back to Community Conversations on KLEK 102.5 FM. I'm going to try to finish up this comment by Miss Sarah. We really appreciate her for checking in and giving us her honest feedback. In the first part of the statement, she was saying that how her mindset was changed about Greek life. And if you would like to read her comment, please go to our Facebook live stream, and her comment is the first one under that. But she talks about, people try to pay Greek service hours as just something to check off. But working with these students, this could be further from the truth. These organizations teach them to work with others, organizational and business skills, and what it looks like to get your hands dirty in the community with volunteer work. They also somehow find the time to maintain some of the top grades on campus, and they truly add so much to A-State. They serve in leadership roles all over campus, and they help point our campus as a whole to what's truly important in life, helping your fellow man. I had a huge change of heart, and I wish I would have given them a chance and truly observed what they were about, and not just what media and jaded young people like me thought they were about back in the day. Well, thank you so much, Sarah.
Thank you, Sarah.
For that. And then to Miss Keisha Gordon Turner, thank you for checking in. She says, good morning, everyone. As CJ said, for anyone who wants to join Greek life, please do your research and not join because your friend is doing it. Join your organization for their core values. Love you, CJ. Proud mama, member of Zeta Phi Beta. All right. Thank you so much for everyone tuning in. And just like that, if you have a comment or question, drop it in our Facebook live stream, or the phone lines are open, 870-277-1080. All right, so we're going to get back into our discussion. And so Ms. Kate was telling us before we went to break how things are handled to some degree within the NPC. Okay, and so from what I'm gathering from you all, it's a matter of checks and balances. It's a matter of accountability. It's a matter of looking out for your brother or sister. You're part of this organization, so you've taken on the responsibility of really looking out and being there for each other. It's not just, I'm in it, I got mine, you get yours type deal. We're in this together. And so you truly lift each other up. All right, and so I want to get Miss Samantha in on the conversation. She works in the Leadership Center. So tell us a little bit more about what you do concerning that.
Okay, so really I just help everybody in the Leadership Center, whether it's Greek life, SAB, SGA, anything like that. I wear many hats. And right now, obviously, I'm wearing the hat of supporting Greek life. And it's really easy because I was an alum of A-State, and I was also alum from a sorority on campus. So this has been like a pleasure coming here and supporting and talking about it because I'm a really big advocate for it.
That's awesome. And so how often do you interact with the Greek life? Do you play a specific role though when it comes to meeting with the students or guiding them in some type of direction?
I feel like my job's more event based, such like Trick or Treat with the Greeks. I was interested in like kind of helping organize that. Of course, I would love to be a part of the everyday life of students, even when they come into the Leadership Center. I get to have conversations with them every day, kind of just getting to talk to them about their day, whether it's, hey, how are you? How are your classes? Things like that. Just like I said, many hats, whether it is in Greek life or other organizations on campus. Okay. And so, let's get into talking about the Halloween event that's coming up. So how did it come to be? Is it the first year for this event? Give us all the juicy details.
Yeah, so I believe this will be our 5th annual Trick or Treat with the Greeks event. And this idea was birthed a few years ago just from A couple of things. One, seeing a need for a free and safe one-stop shop Halloween or fall festival carnival event for the community. We saw that need, but on top of that, like we've talked about so far over the last few minutes, is that fraternities and sororities, one of their foundational values is service and giving back to the community. And so it really was kind of a perfect marriage of here's a need in the community, and then we've got the students who believe in that, and in serving and giving back. So that's where the idea came from. But this year's Trick or Treat with the Greeks event is even bigger and better, but it is on Halloween, so this coming Tuesday evening from 4 until 7 p.m., and it will be on the Student Union front lawn, which we call Heritage Plaza Lawn. Okay. And it, like I said, it's entirely free. We know people like that word, free. Okay. And so it's essentially a carnival. We'll have your traditional carnival games with candy, prizes. We will have inflatables that we're bringing in. We'll have a hay maze that the children can run through or climb on. We'll have free cotton candy, music, and then we also are offering trick-or-treating just down the sidewalk at our 5 sorority houses that line Aggie Road. Okay. And so we'll have some sorority members out there ready to greet our children who are wanting to trick-or-treat. And so that's why we say it's a one-stop shop. We have fun, we have games, we have activities, food, trick-or-treating. So we invite everybody to come out for that.
That is wonderful. And I will make sure to post a flyer on our social media page so that everyone can lock in the date and time. And now when you said the front, since I'm not on campus, is it the side where the water fountain is or the other?
It's the other side, off of, if you're coming from Red Wolf Boulevard and you turn onto Aggie Road, then you will be facing that Union front lawn. Okay. And so there's a circle drive there, and parking is also free after 5 on campus in designated areas, but there is an adjoining parking garage that's close by that would offer some free parking after 5 and visitor parking if you come at 4.
Okay, that's awesome. I apologize for this static on today. Oh my goodness. Okay, I'm gonna try not to move. Okay, so again, that is Trick or Treat with the Greeks, Tuesday 4 to 7, which is October 31st. And then there's a photo booth I see with Scarlett and Hal.
Yes, and so for any families who are wanting that coveted photo with our mascots, Hal and Scarlett, and sometimes it's hard to get at the athletic events, we will have Hal and Scarlett there, and the Spirit Squads will be there too.
So do you think Chancellor Danfoss and Maple will come out?
We're hopeful. We feel like, yes, Chancellor Danfoss and Maple are...
Maple has a big fan group.
Yes, a big following. Yeah. Yes, and he, let me tell you, he is in everywhere at once. And so he might make a celebrity appearance, and we're hopeful Maple will too. So.
Alrighty. All right, so look out for the Instagram, Facebook, ours, and now does A-State Greek Life have a Facebook, or is it just individual organizations have their own Facebook pages?
We do have a Facebook. Okay. It is called A-State Greek Life. Actually, it's A-State Fraternity and Sorority Life. And so if you search A-State Fraternity and Sorority Life, then you should find our main Facebook page. And we have a lot of announcements that go out over that. However, each of the 3 councils we've talked about today have their own Instagram accounts that they really do a lot of promoting on as well.
Okay, and I'll make sure to try to get that information definitely before you all leave. We like to stay on top of things and in the know of what's going on, because we here at the station really try to help bridge the gap between the university and the community. Some people see Arkansas State as a separate entity and it's just the campus, but you all are a part of the city, of the community, and so you all offer a lot of services that are beneficial to community members. So we like to really try to provide the information, provide the platform to share the information. Okay, sorry. Okay, so let's kind of get back into our talk about Greek life. So I would like each of you to tell, why you decided to join. This is your time to kind of brag on your organization, why you decided to join the one that you did. And we'll go this way this time.
So I definitely, when I went into Greek life, I was the first person in my family. No one had previously gone through, so I really was uneducated about it. I didn't know much. I just knew it was something I was interested in. So I actually attended Preview Day, which I highly encourage for anyone thinking about going through Greek life to attend. And I learned all about what was it about, what's going on, how does the process look. And so I went through, and I just honestly, I kind of faded into the walls in high school. I didn't do much. I kind of just went in and left, and I really wanted to change in college. I wanted to be involved. I wanted to make a difference in my community and excel in that way. And so that's really what I was looking for, just an organization that would encourage me to be well-rounded and not just plugged into just my organization, but to give myself to other different organizations on campus, and which kind of led me to MPC, which I'm forever grateful for. So yeah, just to be a well-rounded woman, and of course academics first. That was my number one priority, because I do intend to go to graduate school, so that's an important thing for me. So yeah, for sure, and it's made me definitely who I am today.
Okay, and I know the process for recruitment and becoming a member is slightly different between MPC and MPHC.
Yes.
And so I know that some freshmen are allowed to join MPC, but do you have any advice though for freshmen who like fresh off the boat, fresh on campus, and these bright-eyed, bushy-tail, bright idea?
Well, it's definitely it's a challenge to balance a lot. College in general, it's hard to juggle, and we know that, and the members know that when you come in. So I really try to offer help in balancing your time and time management between your education, your social life, your organization. So that's why we encourage things such as study hours and stuff like that, just to really make sure, here's how we're gonna prioritize. And I'm telling you, your planner will become your best friend. But definitely advice for a freshman: just go in with your ducks in a row. Just know that education's always first, and the organizations know that, and they treat you in that way. So they're definitely going to make sure that you don't slack off in that area for sure. So.
All right, and Ms. Samantha, I don't know if you stated, but are you in any sorority?
I am an alum of a sorority on campus, but I would really just like to talk about, honestly, going Greek anyways, and why to join for that. And really the reason is that sense of community. When you come on campus and you're a freshman, you don't really know what you're going to do, and you're trying to find that new normal. And so really going to Preview Day would be a great start to kind of figure out what you want to do, whether you want to go into Greek life or not. And then recruitment is a great way to get to know each fraternity or sorority. And I know that even getting to know them on MPHC, you kind of have that time with you to get to know them, and don't make any rash decisions about your pre-misconceptions of things. And so that's really what I would take from it. And you will always have that sense of community no matter what organization you'll join. Even you'll have that, if you join a sorority, you'll have the support from fraternities. And so I just think that would be really great for people coming in, is to know that you'll always have support no matter where you go.
Okay. Mr. CJ?
All right, so my story is it's not that great, but it's a story nonetheless. My dad is a member of Phi Beta Sigma, so I'm a legacy, and I got a lot of flack for that when I first joined. It was like, oh no, you're just doing that because your dad. No, not particularly. Growing up in a house of parents that are both Greek. My dad is a Sigma. My mom is a member of Zeta Phi Beta. So, I grew up under the principles that both of those organizations taught them in their time in school, not knowingly.
Okay.
Again, like I said, do your research going, before that you make the decision of what you want to do, because even though my parents are both members of the blue and white family, they still raised me to be open-minded, because I do have family members that are members of other Greek organizations outside of theirs, and so with that I kind of talk to aunts, uncles, and cousins about okay, so tell me about your organization. or why did you choose your organization. So that's kind of the first-hand knowledge, and then I went out and did my own research on the internet. All right, so Google NPHC or Google Phi Beta Sigma or Omega Psi Phi, Alpha Phi Alpha, those fraternities or sororities, and figure out, well, through their history, through their principles and their purposes, which one is the best fit for you. And once you realize that, again, you get on campus and seek out the members of those respective organizations. Now, within Sigma, we require at least 12 hours and a minimum GPA of a 2.6. And so 12 hours, for those that don't know, is at least one full semester at Arkansas State University, and then a cumulative 2.6 GPA. And then at that point, again, you go through the corrective processes and you become a member. But yeah, that's my story.
All right.
I love it.
All right, well, thank you. So, Miss Alexis, are you a part of a sorority?
I am, yes.
Okay.
Yes. And so I joined many years ago, but I'm still a member, but I was a new member many years ago. But I grew up in a very small town, graduated with 29 people here in Northeast Arkansas. And so when I went to college, I just wanted a new experience, and I wanted to meet new people who were different than what I grew up around, and so sorority life was definitely something that was on my radar. I didn't know a lot of information about it. I did have a couple of family members who joined sororities, but I just didn't know if it was for me. And so I thought, as a freshman, well, I'll give it a shot. One thing, like Samantha said, that I was looking for was community. And so I was going onto a college campus where I did not know anybody. And sorority life provided me that. It provided me, I had good friends in high school, but at college, the sorority gave me the best friends that I have ever had. And we still, 17 years later, we are still great friends. And so it's something where it gave me leadership opportunities too, to really get involved on campus. I think sometimes students come in, I was one of them, I was afraid of being a little fish in a big pond. And one thing that I think Greek life does, whether you join as a freshman or an upperclassman, is it gives you that community, it gives you a place to belong and to feel like you are a part of that fabric of campus, and you don't feel kind of so lost sometimes. And so it gave me that, it gave me support, and now I'm in the profession of so it gave me my career, I guess. But it really benefited, and it still benefits me a whole lot.
Alrighty, so Mr. Grant?
Yeah, kind of like Alexis, I came to campus as a freshman, didn't really have anyone with me, and so by the spring of my freshman year, me and 62 other guys actually started our fraternity on campus and brought it to campus. And I think at the time we didn't really know what we were getting into. There's a lot of blood, sweat, and tears to get where we are today. But it's just so great looking back years ago when we started and seeing how much we've grown and how much we've built each other up. And just to have that impact, leave behind a legacy on campus, it's amazing. But we say a lot in the fraternity that your brothers are going to be the people who stand next to you on your wedding day, and they'll be the one to carry you to your grave, and that's the absolute truth. I started just to help find some friends, on campus, and I left with family.
That is awesome. Now, some people say, you're buying your friends. We heard from Miss Sarah that that's not true. You're not joining to buy friends. These people truly become your friends and your family over time. Now, I do want to ask though, we're human, and just because we're in close proximity with someone, we're in the same organization, do you necessarily become best friends with everybody?
I think, again, no, you're never gonna, any organization you join, become best friends with everyone. But just from my personal experience, it's, you kind of find your people, you find your little group that those are your people. But at the same time, I know that, anytime I'd ever need anything, I could call a sister right now that maybe I haven't really had a good conversation with in a couple weeks, but she would do anything for me. And I genuinely have several experiences where that has been the case. So they're for sure always there for you. If you're a sister or a brother, they're going to be there for you no matter how close you are. So.
Alrighty. All right, so we're going to get ready to come up on another break. And so when we come back from our break, we're just going to wrap up some information and allow you all to give any final thoughts concerning Greek life and your organization, any kind of shout outs. So I hope I get this buzzing fixed by that time as well. Okay, so anyone else, if you have any questions or comments, please drop them on our Facebook live stream or call us in the station at the studio 870-277-1080. So please don't go anywhere. We'll be right back after these announcements.
You're listening to Community Conversations on KLEK 102.5 FM. We'll be right back.
We're back with Money Matters. I'm Alfred Edmond Jr. It may be time to shut down the Bank of YOU. Here's how to stop being a human ATM. First, never lend money you can't afford to give away. When anyone asks to borrow money from you, always ask yourself, what would happen if they don't pay you back? If you do lend, only lend from discretionary funds. That's whatever you have left over after you put money towards your savings, your debt, your emergency fund, and retirement, and you paid all of your bills and expenses. If there's no money left, that means no lending. If you really care about them, encourage independence. Don't enable dependency. Constantly bailing others out of financial jams doesn't really help them in the long run. If someone is always in financial trouble, the best you can do is direct them to online resources like blackenterprise.com or debtadvice.org to help them change their habits. Whatever you do, stop making their money problems your responsibility. I'm Alfred Edmond Jr. for Money Matters, a product of American Urban Radio Networks.
Money Matters is made possible by the Jonesboro Alumni Chapter of Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporated, a nonprofit organization dedicated to uncompromising commitment to communities, service, leadership, empowerment. www.jonesboroalumnidst.org.
Money Matters is brought to you by Bancorp South, offering checking, savings, loans, credit cards, and wealth management. 5 locations in Jonesboro to serve you. www.bancorpsouth.com or 870-972-9800.
Danny Ford, owner of Glen Saint Motors in Paragould, strongly believes in the values of family and hard work with a commitment to the men and women of the U.S. Armed Forces who keep America free, providing sales and servicing of Chevys, GMCs, Buicks, and Cadillacs, located at 6345 Highway 49 in Paragould. 870-565-4358. Details at glensaintparagould.com and at klekfm.org. God bless our troops.
Arkansas Early Learning is accepting applications right now for childcare. We have locations all across Northeast Arkansas. Applications at arearlylearning.org. That's arearlylearning.org. Right here in the community at no cost. Arkansas Early Learning offering kids a head start.
Arkansas Early Learning is a nonprofit organization.
Do you like the music you hear on KLEK 102.5 FM? Do you like the educational programming that we provide? Do you like the service we provide to the community? Do you like having a station to finally call your own that represents you? If so, please stop by or call any of our underwriters or sponsors that you hear on KLEK and tell them thank you for their support. The support of our underwriters and sponsors is vital for us to stay on the air. So be sure to let them know that you thank them for their support.
And now back to Community Conversations on KLEK 102.5 FM.
All All right, welcome back to our last segment of Community Conversations on KLEK 102.5 FM. I hope that you have been enjoying our conversation. Today we've been talking all about Greek life, and I really appreciate everyone for giving their feedback and just being open and candid about, what goes on. A lot of people have a lot of misconceptions about what it means to be Greek. Of course, they think it's a party all the time and, all the other negative things they come up with, but that is not the case. As we saw, and I'm going to give a shout out to Sarah again from her comment, it is not the case. And I personally know some people that are in various organizations, and I see the work that they put in around campus, and they're wonderful. So take some time and get to know these individuals, get to know all about their organization. Don't just go in with a one-sided view. Be open-minded about what they have to say, and you just might be surprised at what you see. Don't judge the whole by some of its parts, because there are those few that are out there. I'm just going to say there's a few that do not represent the whole of the organization. And so I want to give you all these last moments to just share some final thoughts, any encouraging words, or any advice that you would like to give for students. Or say there are those that are in the organization that are considering dropping out. Maybe they feel like, I can't do this, I don't know. They're struggling somewhere. So any advice any of you would like to give, and we'll start with Mr. Grant.
To anyone listening, I guess, that has a misconception about what Greek life is, I know my family's that way, or was that way prior. Like you said, just get to know the Greeks, kind of look at what we do. We are so much more than the bad media that's out there. We try to build ourselves up and be better people. I know personally that's been my experiences. I've become a stronger, better person based on my fraternity, my experience. But yeah, I would definitely encourage anyone interested just to talk to the Greeks and see what we're up to. And I think I do have some brothers listening, so I just want to give a shout out to all my brothers, Kappa Sigma, A to B boys.
All right. Thank you all for tuning. There's quite a few people watching on live stream. I can't see who they are, so thank you to everyone out there that is watching the live stream. So, Ms. Alexis.
Yes. So one of the things I really believe is that you get out what you put into something. And so that applies to fraternity and sorority life too. I really encourage students when they get involved to really put a lot into it, seek out leadership positions, focus on really attending these service events and having fun too. That's a big part of it, is just have fun. And so if someone is considering dropping out of an organization, I would want to talk to them, and at the end of the day, we'll always support what decision they think is best for them personally. But I would like to, a lot of times concerns about fraternity and sorority life revolves around misinformation and maybe even just a lack of the full spectrum of what it really is all about. And so if parents are concerned, I love to talk to parents. Or if a student is listening wanting to join and they have a parent or guardian who's concerned, please send them my way. My email and everything's on the website, because we love to talk people through any concerns or misconceptions or stereotypes that they are kind of concerned about.
All right, Mr. CJ?
One thing I'd like to highly stress is that it's not just 4 years, it's for life.
Okay.
You don't pay these new member fees and paying to go to all these conferences and things like that just for 4 years.
Okay.
Or however long that you're in your organization, in your undergraduate college career. It's a lifetime commitment. And so when I listen to all these people say, oh, well, I was this or I was that or blah, 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 it's a part of you, not just for while you were in school, but for the rest of your life. Because, again, the whole brotherhood, sisterhood thing, I've got brothers that graduated a long time ago that got jobs in their career field because of the fact that they were members of Phi Beta Sigma or members of X, Y, and Z organization. So it's a lifetime thing, and if you see a brother or a sister, embrace them.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you so much for that. Right.
I would just like to say, if you have those misconceptions and misinformation about Greek life as a whole, to kind of take the time to, like everybody has said, do your research and take the time to get to know people that are in those organizations, because it will really, really surprise you on how much in common you'll have with those people, because they're just regular people, just like everyone else. And you shouldn't let an opportunity to become a part of something that's bigger than yourself to provide you opportunities in the long run and connections for life. You shouldn't miss out on that.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you so much, everybody, for your open feedback. I really hope that those who may be considering joining, are weighing their options and are joining for the right reasons, and not just, like we said earlier, a color or an image. The images can fade away. They can be misconceived. Don't look at one group, they seem to have a lot of fun, but you don't know the hard work that they put into the organization, doing what they do to have all the fun that they have. For sure. The fun is the reward of all of the hard work, because I'm sure you all spend countless hours via text, phone, email, like really micromanaging and planning events and volunteer opportunities. So it's a lot of work that goes into it. So I applaud each and every one of you. So I would like to ask, are there any groups that are not on campus presently represented? Are there any works for bringing them back or bringing them?
We are always looking to expand and enhance our fraternity and sorority community. But at this time, if an national organization has interest, or if there's a group of students like Grant's Experience who were interested in bringing a particular organization to campus, there are processes and procedures for doing that. Okay. And so we're always open to having those conversations with students or even alumni who are looking to bring their organization back to campus or to campus. We're always looking to have those conversations. Of course, that is dependent on the timeline and where we are as a university, but we're always interested in hearing from people and what they're wanting to see, because that only will further enhance our community.
All right. So in our last 2 minutes, let's talk about the trick-or-treat again.
Yes. So again, 4 to 7 on Halloween. Please come out. Bring your children of all ages. We will have inflatables. Hay maze. We'll have free cotton candy. The Spirit Squad, Howl and Scarlet will be out there, and trick-or-treating with free trick-or-treat bags.
So are pets welcome?
Pets are welcome. Put them on a leash, though. That's any kind of policy. But yes, please bring your pets out, and they may get to befriend Maple Leaf as well. So.
All right, so we're going to hope that Maple comes out. We love you too, Dr. Kelly, but, Maple's the star of the show. All right, so I thank you all so much for joining us today. And thank everyone out there for your comments and for watching our live stream. We couldn't do what we do without the support of the community. And we thank Arkansas State for being a big part of our community as well. If you would love to learn more about Arkansas State University and all the programs they offer, whether it's events or courses, go to astate.edu. Look for the search box and you will be surprised. There's like an A to Z index with so much information listed. Literally A to Z on Arkansas State University. I had to play around with that when I had a course, making connections. Yes. You have to learn all about the website. So anyways, anything you want to know about Arkansas State University, you can find on their webpage. Again, that is astate.edu. Either click on A to Z index or click on the little magnifying glass and type in what you want to search for. This has been your Friday edition of Community Conversations on KLEK 102.5 FM. I pray everyone has a blessed day. It looks like it's going to get a little chilly today.
I think so.
And so I hope everyone stays warm and dry. Have a great Friday, y'all.